about what I want to change around. Because I'm digging how it turned out, but I'm also like the parts that I was really proud of I'm covering up with my head. So I'm thinking like,
Oh,
okay, I
really?
gotta rearrange. I gotta rearrange it. I gotta move things over to the other side here. Stuff like that.
All right. Well, it says that we're live, so we should be able to check out and see how a piece of this new format is looking.
Okay. All right. On which one do you want me to look? Do you want me to look at YouTube or
YouTube.
Twitch? Okay. That is vertical. That is a vertical format I am looking at.
All right. And now you see what I mean with the YouTube. It just took me to the page, but I don't know how to control that page. Like,
Hmm.
I have questions. Like, because I
Yeah.
mean, you see people who do it all the time.
Oh, sure.
There's
Yeah.
a very clear, very obvious way to do it. I'm just clearly being dumb and don't know how.
I mean, I could probably figure it out given a little time, but
Oh, sure.
yeah. I mean, I haven't ever. I'll tell you, man. Some of this. I'll tell you what fascinates me. Like I already was fascinated by the whole streaming concept to begin with, because it seemed to start off for the first several years. It was just watching people play video games, and that always blew my mind. Because for me,
Right.
growing up, watching someone else play a video game was the literal definition of hell. Like that was how you not become friends with someone is invite them over to watch you play a video game. And suddenly they're
Pretty
not your
much.
friend anymore. So the fact that watching someone else play video games became a multi-million-dollar industry practically overnight blew my mind. But now one of the things, like since we started doing this, I've started checking out different Twitch streamers and stuff like that, seeing what people can do, what should we try to do, stuff like that. And boy, I'll tell you what fascinates the fuck out of me are VTubers. Have you seen these guys?
You say
Most of them are
VTuber?
girl VTuber. Most of them are girls. At least the ones that are fed to me are girls, which might be saying something. But yeah, they're basically cartoon avatars. They're people who are using motion tracking to basically control a cartoon avatar, and they do an entire show
Yeah.
as a cartoon character, and that's their show. Like sometimes they're playing video games too, sometimes they're reacting to videos, but it's like it's not like you and me talking. They have motion tracking on them, and it's a cartoon character that they're controlling doing it. And
It's like doing the
Jesus,
whole
that is
thing as like a Snapchat filter.
kinda, yeah, it's fucking fascinating, let me tell you. And I caught one the other day that blew my mind. It's this chick who's she does a full body avatar of like she's like this demon like alien creature. Alien, that's right, she's an alien. She's got little like Andorian antenna coming out of her head and stuff like that, and she reports the weather. That's her show. She reports the
Just
weather. She
reporting the
does.
weather.
Well, that was all I saw. I mean, I granted it was only a few clips. Maybe there's more, but but she basically, and she even referred to it as the pirate weather channel. Like, not only does she report the weather, but she's apparently reporting it illegally in some fashion, which I did not know that was a thing.
What? Did you
Yeah,
say it was illegal?
I don't know. She calls it the pirate weather channel, which makes me think that that she's getting this information somehow in to report on the weather report in some you know, non-official channels. I'm not exact. I mean, I would assume she meant like
It
Yar
doesn't make any
Matey pirate,
sense.
but she's an alien. She's not a pirate. She's an alien. So when she calls it the Pirate
Yeah.
Weather Channel, I assume that means that if anyone found her identity, she might be in some legal problems. Because
As
that's what I think when I think piracy,
as much fun as it is to think that, I think pirate, I think booty. I think a chest, I think booty. I think the fact that we're talking about a woman streamer and the way that I'm describing pirate could very, very easily be very
Yeah.
problematic.
I should go look up so I can actually like say her name if I'm going to talk about her this much. I should at least give her the
Well,
credit that's
I
due.
do believe I have this mostly figured out to where we could actually do that and pull up some videos. Do you by chance remember the name?
I don't know. She said this was the pirate weather. Maybe if you look up pirate weather VTuber, maybe it'll come up.
Pirate weather VTuber. Let's check this out. Let's see what we get. Pirate. The pirate weather
I know, it's
song.
ridiculous, right?
There's something.
Okay, that
coming
must
up
be
there.
actual like sailing music. That's what that has to be.
Pirate software raids Neurosama and Evil during most hilarious news stream highlights. I think. I mean, I'm looking at like anime characters. Is that
Doesn't sound right, no.
no? Well, I don't
No.
know. I am a little bit curious what this. I mean, we're gonna have to check this out. All right, Doc, can you hear this?
No, I can't hear anything. And hold on.
Well, I have to go check the YouTube because I have no idea how this is working. We're just
I'm not seeing anything coming up on the YouTube. I'm looking at the YouTube screen. Okay, now I see something. I see your desktop. Okay. Okay, now we got something here.
okay.
Oh, okay. I know this one. Neurosama is an AI bot. That's what that's about.
Okay, so this does work. Oh my god, this is weird.
The shit gets insane. I've only seen a few clips here and there, and every single one I'm just sitting here going like, what is happening to the I don't know what is going on in the world, but I fucking love it. Like
What the hell? Oh my god. Okay, yeah, we definitely need to figure out how to make this whole process work because I want to be able to hear you. I want to be able to hear her because what I was just listening to was an animated cartoon weather person say, "You are all evil because you don't know your favorite streamer's birthday, and I wish I could punch you all." And I'm just, what? What?
That's fantastic. Yeah.
So,
No, it's wild out there, man.
Okay, all right. Now that we are actually live, though, I do gotta show you this that present that I was given. Give me a second to go
yeah.
get it, and yeah.
All right.
All right.
Brad got himself a housewarming gift, and he's going to show it off. I'm seeing it for the first time now as well. He was very proud of it. Let me actually go take a look, see here. That's a sword. I only a big enough sword that the camera could only show like a third of it. Damn. I believe that is called a bastard, right? Am I right?
It's either a bastard sword or a broadsword, but this is not just for decoration, my friends. This one is... Oh, actually, looks like you can actually read it. So, can we find...
Nice. Nice.
Yep. This is not just for decoration. This is an actual wood-splitting sword. I was out chopping wood with this sword today.
Nice. Very nice.
Fantastic gift. Made in Canada.
Actually, yeah.
I feel like after what I was doing today, I really want to do some advertisement for this thing. This is amazing.
Now, actually, maybe you can help me out. I've been trying to figure it out. Is there a trick to splitting wood? Because I am not a weak person, and I have never successfully split a log in my life. Is there something like against the grain or something that I must be doing wrong? Because I have.
Well,
I'm a
well,
martial artist. I'm in generally good shape, but every time I have tried to split wood, I have yet to succeed splitting a single thing of wood. And yet,
Okay, so here's kind of a thing
look
about
half my size do it in one hit. So what am I missing? Was there a technique that I am just not aware of?
potentially. I have absolutely no idea how you're splitting wood. But yeah, you are absolutely strong enough to split wood. Good God, look at the size of the handle on this thing.
It's beautiful.
This is... I don't want to hit the ceiling. I'm gonna put this down before I destroy my camera or
Right.
something. Kelly, can you help me out? Can you take the sword? Like put it back in the corner. Yeah. Okay. Oh man. Okay. That was weird.
That raises
Also,
a question.
What's up?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is actually the better way to go because in the first couple minutes of the show we had 11 viewers right away. More people are cruising through looking at shorts, and this shows up in the YouTube short section.
Okay, because we're vertical, so people are thumbing through. We're more likely to show up at random. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
But
Guess that makes sense then. Yeah.
it is a problem that you can't see the videos. So would that be part of the collab cam that we gotta figure out and set up?
I would think so, and I think that would be solved if we can. Because remember when we were trying to work out the virtual camera last time?
Right. Yeah.
I think that's basically the secret. There is. I think we need to figure out the virtual camera so that when you're collabing with me, I see what's on your screen through the virtual camera instead of just seeing your actual camera. We got to work that one out.
That's kind of awesome. Somebody with the actual handle United States is like, "What's up?"
Oh, why, hello, America.
No kidding. What's up, USA?
Yeah.
How's your week been? Hasn't seemed good.
I would happily just sit here and just like refer to the audience as America constantly, be like, listen up, America, except I would absolutely be ripping off Bernie Mac if I did that. And God rest his soul, I will not do that to him.
Thank you. Yeah, you got to throw love to Bernie Mac. I mean,
Yeah.
What an absolute legend. No way around it. A king of comedy. God, now I just want to pull up some Bernie Mac videos and watch them.
Oh, you know what's crazy? Just this week, my son discovered George Carlin.
Discovered. What's up, guys? Discovered George Carlin. Did he just find the 7 words you can't say on radio and television, or what was it?
No, he's probably gotten to it by now. But here's the thing: is that I know this is not the first time because I also showed him Kevin Smith's movies. I made a point to show him the Kevin Smith repertoire and so when
he's in a few
we get to Dogma and he's laughing his ass off and I'm like, no, you got to understand this guy, like having this guy play this character is so much more. And then and then here we are like almost a year later after that, he's sending me George Carlin clips saying, have you seen this? And I'm like, bro, I've seen them all.
What's up,
there
Frankie?
there is no publicly accessible footage of George Carlin that I have not seen, kid. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
That is fair because, when you have an absolute legend, pretty low chances you haven't seen every one of those clips, especially when there's not new ones coming out.
Right, yeah.
No, that is one of those things. I love, okay, yes. Dogma, 100%. George Carlin, acting roles, it is Bishop, whatever, Cardinal Glick? Is that what his name was?
Something like that, yeah. I feel like Cardinal Glick is actually a different movie, but it was very similar.
Here's like, Buddy Christ, doesn't it just pop?
Right, yeah.
No matter what, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, the rules of the road leading into the Carrie Fisher as a nun. That's
yep. No, yeah.
Thanks, Frankie. Looking for check us out sometime, man. We got a bunch on the podcast this week. Just too tired. Well, I am. I think you can see that I am. You look like you're nice and refreshed and doing pretty well. What was your week like?
I'm doing okay. It was
It's fantastic that you froze like that because you're like, I'm doing okay, but your face was like, I
mean, I got a blizzard outside, and so it's titchy. I could go at any second, but
There you go. How's that blizzard? Like, are you looking at a couple feet or 5 feet? Like, what's going on out there?
no, it's not that bad. I think it looks like. I mean, I haven't been out there yet to really take a look, but it looks like it's stopped at about 4 or 5 inches. So it's not apocalyptic
Enough to
but
keep you home, but not enough to
enough
cause
to
an
keep me
emergency.
home, enough to worry about whether or not the power is going to stay on. Because this is not exactly an area that's built for extreme weather, and there's been
Well,
a
yeah,
lot
but I
more
mean,
extreme
we're
weather
all
lately.
getting it now.
So, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I found out
So
the place that I just moved to, this area that I just moved to, the hottest day on record was only 99 degrees. That's workable. I can work with that. The part that sucks is it was last year. And I'm like, come on.
yeah.
Which probably means we're going to be hitting some rough time. Hey,
Yep.
thanks for subscribing, Frankie.
Wow. I
No,
guess this
it's
vertical shit really works.
I think that's we should have been doing this a little bit ago. But who knows how this is going to be when we actually hit the real podcast, because this is just kind of
Old
like
dogs,
an
new
in
tricks.
between, just yeah.
Yeah.
Set aside
Yeah.
from
I
that
mean,
actually.
that thing is like Frankie. That's right. Frankie, you just
Yeah,
subscribed.
Frankie.
Frankie, I don't know if you know, this is not what we usually do. We usually have things to
Not
talk
until the
about.
after hour. Once we hit the
Right,
after
yeah.
hour, yeah, we do become bigger idiots in the after hour. That is an established thing.
That's true. Yep.
But I
Yeah,
will say
no, my
your
week
audio
was
does
pretty,
sound better this week. So that online studio, the NVIDIA, that's the one you're using?
NVIDIA. Yes, I'm using the NVIDIA Broadcast Studio now, and I don't these third-party things. So it was one of those things where it was like they usually do it in ways that I don't like. I don't like being force-fed shit, especially on my computer. And
Oh
so
yeah,
by the very
that's why
nature of the fact,
you're an open source guy.
yeah, and it bugs me when like I open up, my spreadsheet program, and they go, and every time I open it to do my calculations, a little thing pops up and goes, by the way, we've got like 8 other programs we make. Do you want to try them all out? I'm like, fuck off.
Oh yeah,
Pop,
with like the Focusrite and the Road and everything. Like anytime that I go
Right.
through to like adjust all the internal settings and all that, I find out it's like I didn't know you guys made all of these things.
Right, yeah. And
It's
and
like finding out
you-
that Subaru makes guns for jets.
Right, yeah. Well, and not only that, but they've also got like when you start your car up, they put an advertisement in front of you going, "Did you know we make guns too? Would you like to buy one right now?" Like that's the thing that bothers me.
Whenever you drop your
Yeah,
car
get
off
that.
for maintenance or to be repaired, do you get that like flyer that says, "Hey, we want to buy your car"? Do you get that?
Oh no. No.
Because that is something I wish I could unsubscribe from.
Right, yeah. Well,
That's
I'm seeing some weird ones around here lately. Like,
Oh, what do you got?
well, I mean, I know that there's always these things that happen in economic downturns. Like, and I've always seen these signs. I remember a few years back, I would see these like little road signs, little teeny tiny ones stuck in the lawn at the grocery store or on the corner or something like that. That would say things like, we buy gold. You got any gold? We'll buy all the
yeah,
gold.
yeah. Oh, all
You know.
over Portland. I remember that.
Yeah. And then
I saw it
and
down
then
in LA too.
a little while after the whole the recession happened, one of the bigger recessions, then it went from gold to houses. They're like, we pay cash for houses. That was another one that kept popping up
Yeah.
everywhere. Guess what I'm seeing around here now?
Oh God, what,
We
guns?
we buy diabetic supplies.
Whoa, that is some morbid. That is
Yeah. No, that's got
yeah.
I'm really worried. I don't know what exactly that means, but I'm worried.
All right. Here's this last couple weeks. I have wound up in a very a couple decisions have been really, really awesomely made. And I think I actually do got to throw it to those tariffs because those tariffs didn't actually happen yet.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of them got kind of pushed off. But the prices for things in my neighborhood dropped down like 60 to 70% because people were just trying to move stuff before like the prices got jacked up. So in just moving into our home, we wound up in a pretty strong position just because people were trying to offload product. If the tariffs never actually push forward and actually do happen, and this was like some sort of weird like marketing strategy to let something like that happen to just get like a hard economic push, then that is one of those moments where you just got to go, ah, if this was on purpose, damn, nice. If this wasn't, what the hell just happened?
I know, right? But that's the thing is like, it's really, when you consider all the things going on at once, it would be really, really, really hard to sell that it was on purpose. But I do know plenty of people out there who would 100% swear on their life that it was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 100. Oh, my God. Okay. Little bit of a weird thing on, I mean, everything that we do is kind of weird. I mean, let's be real. It's kind of something you could say, like when you're watching something on a show, two guys living in different parts of the country, neither of them in the center or in the location they met, but when you got two dudes who met in Portland, there's weird involved.
Oh yeah, yep.
I still wish I would have been able to see that cabaret back when that was in production. Like all the stories I've heard, everything like that, that would have been a good one to see.
It was a teeny tiny 6-month-long chapter of my life, and I think it may be the most consequential. It was fucking amazing.
The amount of stories that I've heard come out of that, like, and the cabaret that I saw at the start, do you remember the actress that was one of the initial models for Self-Portrait? Do you remember Kayla?
Oh yeah, I remember Kayla. Yeah, she was cool.
I met her and her boyfriend her boyfriend is one of the cabaret stars, like shirtless dude with like chainsaws or like knives and all this stuff going around on a dirt bike on a stage. I'm like, what the hell? I might have met him briefly. Yeah, that was a hell of a thing to experience, man. That was like Cirque du Soleil, but just a little bit more weird, which I didn't think could happen.
Yeah, ours was not that complicated. We didn't do any acrobatics or nothing. We were mostly just like theater kids who were doing we were doing our favorite show tunes, but with no clothes. That was our whole thing. And with a couple of comedy routines thrown in just for good measure, we were very small potatoes, but we had fun. I'll tell you though, like it changes your, like, people use the phrase feminine energy when they talk about, certain things. My definition of that phrase was permanently altered by that experience, because me being one of 3 guys around around like 24 women in this show, I truly understand what feminine energy truly means. And it is, I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking addictive. It's fucking addictive. Like I haven't experienced it since, and I still miss it. 10 years on. So
there was okay. I've talked about this before on the show. There is something that happens in like workshops and stuff like that. People get cast in being at like these. Cost $10,000 a weekend to go to this workshop to learn from this person. And there are people there that you're like, you spent $10,000 to be here? I mean, my face was internally saying that to pretty much everybody that I saw that was there.
I think I remember you telling me about this. Yeah.
There was like a CEO that like flew over from London and like all this stuff. And I got cast because I took another class that only cost like $150.
Right.
And same teacher. Okay. Well, no, the teacher for that class was an assistant for this one. I'm in there. Part of this class is men had to split up into groups of 4, women had to split up in groups of 4, and they had to team up and write a sexual fantasy.
I remember you telling me about this. Yes.
Sure.
Continue. The audience will love this. Yeah.
Very, very, very... very obvious fantasies were coming from all the men's groups. All right, here, you ready for this? 2 women. Like, it's basically, like, it was like basic shit. And then you flip over to like the women, they're like, we're in the middle of my husband's the football stadium of my husband's favorite team, and the stands are filled with everybody who looks like my husband's father, and they're all cheering me on, and there's a witch coven, and these men are like being turned into bats, and I'm drinking their blood, and I'm like, what the fuck are women? This was not expected. I was completely shocked. And the thing was, I was like, that's an outlier. That is the outlying group. It's not all going to be all of them. There was not an exception. Every one of them was 1,000 times freakier than any dude that I have ever talked to.
Mm-mm.
We're wrong.
Yeah, no,
we don't know shit.
No, for sure. No, absolutely, yeah. No, I'm still in regular contact with and good friends with probably about 4 of the girls from that group. They are still
right, yeah,
lights of my life. You know, they are, you know, wouldn't want to go a day without having them in my life. They are, and that's the crazy thing is like you hear this like I've heard this repeated in a lot of media. No, I've never heard anyone say this in real life. I've only heard it said in like movies and TV shows. So I don't know how many people really truly subscribe to this thought. But this idea that like, you know, women are like one part mother, one part sister, one part, you know, whore on the side. And then, you know, it's like, you know, it's like a chef in the kitchen and a whore in the bedroom, you know, all these things about this like divide of like the different caricatures that women must portray. Being in the cabaret was experiencing every version at once, turned up to 11. Like, we're talking like women that you want to protect and be protected by simultaneously, and you know, also super horny. Like, and
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, it's funny because I feel like when I was a kid, it was a much, or even just a younger man, I was much less in the know, or just society. Like, men did not believe that women were as freaky as they are. Now you go on like any social media platform and like you have some dude they like, what I think a woman's book is gonna like read like, and then like what it really is like just a look of sheer horror. It's like, yes, women's romance novels are not, oh, he tickled the back of my neck. It's not. Yeah, no. I mean, I'm sure
it's kind of amazing. Yeah, no, it is amazing. Yes, I can't believe it either. Because yeah, there was. I don't know if this was a generational thing, but yeah, it seemed like that there was a pretty long time in society where we were all, at least menfolk, and even like a good portion of women themselves, were convinced that women just naturally had no interest in sex. If a woman had any true inkling, you know, like. It was just a thing that they do to keep men happy. That was their whole thing. They didn't actually want to do it.
There's like
they
an 80-year window that
something
is
like that, yeah.
the thing. Because before that, nuh-uh. After that, no. You go back in history and, nah, man, that is not the case. And then you go to like recent history, it's like, no. This weird little window where everybody thought all of this stuff.
Right,
Don't know who kicked it up, but it wasn't before and it ain't after. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. But I do.
I was gonna say, like one of the big awakenings for me was like, so it's like growing up watching TV and movies and stuff. The constant running theme of all this stuff was that as you know, as soon as you get married, that's when the sex ends. When you know, once they get the ring, they don't. You know that it's like you know the husband's constantly like, honey, can we have sex tonight? No, I got a headache. Like that's the thing. Women just aren't interested in sex. Once you get married, it's basically on your birthday, and that's it. That's all you get. And then by the time I'm done, and me and all my friends are getting married, I lost count of the number of times I'm sitting in a bar with one of my recently married friends who's sitting there hunched, huddled over his beer, going like, "She wants all the time. I think I'm going to die."
Life is not what people think it is, and that just keeps getting proven every damn day.
No, for sure, yeah.
No, that is See, here's what sucks. I am married. I can speak to this, but out of respect for the woman who's 10 feet away from me who could kick my ass, and I literally just handed a bastard sword, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. No, that's probably wise. Yeah.
Okay, seriously though, that sword, getting out there chopping wood with a sword, that's something else. Because I've chopped wood my whole life, since I was like 13. But like, it's something that I've done. I have a lot of experience with. When we moved into this house into the mountains, it was very easy to get right back to it.
Sure.
That sword made it easier than ever before. And I'm talking like when I was like over 200 pounds of just cock diesel solid muscle. No,
Nice.
It was not this easy. Why are axes a thing? We should have been using swords the whole time.
You got me. I wasn't at that meeting for sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Man, the battle dwarves, they had their say. Gimli had some shit to say.
Maybe it's the respect to the whole thing. It's like, look, like, someone spent, several generations learning how to make the perfect sword. If you're going to use it to kill somebody, not chop wood, you dick. Like, maybe that it was probably.
Okay. Yeah. You don't get out there with a rapier to chop wood. You don't get out there with a katana. I don't know. Maybe. There are specifically katanas called grass cutters. I bet you could do some good branch work with that.
Probably, yeah. No, probably make short work of that bush. Yeah.
No, my dad was out there. He had the sword. I handed it to him, and I was like, "Go ahead." And he just went right up to a tree and started chopping it down with the sword. And I'm like, I bet you've been waiting your whole damn life to do that. Because there's just something about it, man. That's just I don't want to like gender specify this one, but I'm gonna go it because a little bit. Every boy wants to chop something down with a sword. I'm gonna put that like that is one of those things.
I mean, there is a reason why they make a point to tell the story about George Washington and the cherry tree to first graders, because it speaks to us directly. We're like, fuck yeah.
That's big.
Cut that bitch down.
Yeah. There's human nature for you.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, something we haven't talked about for a while. How's your audio drama going? I know that you were paired up with a few people and you were kicking some stories.
I don't know. Well, it wasn't that I was paired up. It was, I went onto the casting call websites and decided to do some free work to build up a bit of a resume. To my knowledge, none of them are finished yet. I've recorded 4 episodes, I think, and last I heard, they wanted to finish 6 episodes before they started releasing them. So in case there was a delay, they would at least get some out.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, they, and I did confirm. I suspected that this was a kid I was dealing with. Confirmed recently when they vanished for like a month. And then when they came back, they got on the Discord and were like, "Sorry, everyone, I had finals." And and I'm like, "Okay." Yeah.
But okay, I've said this before though. I've said this before. Like, it's important to like all artists, all actors, everything like that, voice performers. It is important to like give some of your time, some of your talent, some of your energy,
100%
to these younger ones, so they actually start getting this experience. Like.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I don't regret doing this.
Yeah.
I'm still, I haven't disconnected from the Discord. If they send me a message saying, "Hey, here's your script for episode 5," I'm fucking on it. I'm ready to go. I'm
Nice.
not, I'm 100% for these kids, it'd be nice if they put something out so that I can have a resume. Like I said, that's why I started doing this. But yeah, I mean, I remember, when I was a kid doing my, first student films and stuff, and these old fogies coming out of the woodwork going like, "I'll play your grandpa." And I'm like, "Cool. All right." And I've always been grateful for that, and I'm jealous that the kids have today what I didn't have back then, which was a fucking website where you could literally just
Oh
get everyone in
yeah.
America to be a part of your project. Like, holy shit, what I wouldn't have given for that when I was that age. Like,
No, that is a good one. Okay, I did find the thing that I wanted to kind of talk about. It's like, it's a weird one. It's a potentially tragic one if it doesn't get fixed. I mean, the whole like, yeah, things are kind of rocky right now
hmm,
because of something that like an executive order that was signed by Trump on January 20th. Native Americans can get deported now too
oh, for fuck's sake.
because of the wording on that. And I'm like, that, oh God, come on, man. And I talked to somebody in my community here, very, very red community. And when I talked to them, they're like, if that ever gets to his desk, he's not going to sign it. And I was like, he did on the 20th.
Yeah,
And
he already signed it. It's an executive order.
they're like, it's never going to happen. I'm like, I really hope you're right. Like that's just one of those things, like the stop gaps that we have in place. I hope that they work because, man, you can't be doing stuff like this, man. Can't be doing this.
It
Like,
is.
if there is one straight up group that is protected over literally any other, it's gotta be them.
You would think, but also we do also kind of a history of fucking them over. So that's the other
There is
thing.
that. There is that. Yes, yes. We are
But
not
I'll tell you,
historically awesome in that regard.
right? Yeah. Um, that's the thing that's been mind blowing about all this because it's like growing up, it's like you hear all about what's different about America is that we are a nation of laws. We have laws that people follow. All this. There's no one person who's like a king or whatever. We have the law. Whoever's in charge doesn't really matter because we have the laws anyway.
Yeah.
That's one of the crazy things that like has blown my mind. Like even I, as I considered myself a pretty with it and semi-educated individual, that until Trump's first term, I never realized just how much of our government is run on the fucking honor system.
Oh, right.
Like, holy shit! You mean we could have been doing that? Someone could have done that this whole time, and we just been lucky that no one did before now. Like, are
No,
you
that's
kidding
like
me?
that really like nothing tells you about how good you've had it until you really look at the present like time. Like
Yeah,
all the years of people talking about the corruption of this and this and this. Now you look back on that and go, "Oh, it wasn't that bad."
no, yeah.
The benefit of hindsight.
I long for the year 20, or no, not even 20. Yeah, 2005, when I was really, really mad that George Bush just got reelected. Boy, those seem like the good old days now. Fuck
Yeah,
me.
yeah. When the problems we had back then. Honestly, man, just set aside from the LA riots, just take me back to the 90s. All we did the whole decade was play hacky sack.
There you go. Yeah.
Like that was like if we have one good decade of the actual like entire United States history, I think it was the 1990s.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, there were ups and downs. I mean, that was where the
Well, that was
the
the LA riots. That
persecution.
was the Seattle riots. That
LA
was
riots, Seattle riots. There was I don't know how it went in the rest of the country, but there was a pretty big kerfuffle concerning gay rights in Oregon at that time.
nah.
Someone
I mean,
someone
okay.
actually,
I grew
yeah,
up in North Dakota, so let's just say not there.
yeah. No, I remember let me think, it was the 90, 92, 94. There was the 94 cycle. There was an actual ballot on the in the Oregon election that basically, like in no uncertain terms, straight up made it illegal to be gay. And yeah, it lost, but it did not lost by a wide enough margin to make anyone happy.
Oh yeah.
It was a rough fucking year, let me tell you. So yeah, so it wasn't perfect for sure, but I can see what you're saying. It definitely was. It feels like everything's gone downhill since then, and but I'm sure if we ask somebody I'm sure there's somebody out there who'll be like, no, everything was great in 74. That's when things really went to shit.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I don't even want to kind of go down that rabbit hole. But with the theme of it being decompression week, what do you do to decompress? I'm curious.
I cross stitch. I've told you that. You want to see what I'm working on right now?
That's your only reprieve?
Well, I mean, for me, like if we're talking like true decompression, true like really getting out of my head, yeah, because it's like I put on some music, usually something really like, something like not new music. New music, I keep like getting distracted by because I'm like, oh, this is good stuff. What's this? Who's this? So I got to put on one of my really old playlists from like the 90s, like Green Day and stuff like that. Shit that I know by heart and I'm not going to, I can sing along with by reflex without having to actually think about it.
I've been really feeling the funk recently.
Yeah?
A lot of Edwin Starr.
Okay.
You know Edwin Starr, yeah?
I've heard the name, yes. I would not be able to pick out songs.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Like, probably his most famous song is War.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's listen to music, cross stitch. It basically, it clears the head because it keeps my hands busy. I got the music going. That keeps like the really frantic part of the mind quiet. And it's like, yeah, I can clear my head. Sometimes like that's when I'll either think about nothing and just do the stitch, or I'll start kind of processing different things, some new philosophy or theory, or if I'm very lucky, I'll start working out the kinks of a book I'm trying to write or something like that. That's the most ideal thing. But yeah, that's how if we're talking just general run of the mill end of the day stuff, then you're watching TV. Whatever TV show is good. Like I just the other day finally finished season 2 of Silo, which is a great show if you haven't seen it.
I don't believe I have.
There's 3 new shows out that I like a lot, but also have me concerned because every single one of them reminds me of everything I loved about season 1 of Lost. Where it's you got a lot of weird shit. It's all very interesting. And you're like, what's going on? But I mean, in hindsight, now that Lost is over and we now know, it turns out that no one writing that show actually knew what was going on, and they kind of painted themselves into a corner and never got out of it. So that's what's got me worried, is that I'm really worried that I've got 3 shows now that are all basically like really good versions of Lost that I'm like terrified is going to end the same way as
fall flat on their face.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You got Silo, From, and Teacup.
I haven't seen any of those.
I'm
really disappointed because I really put my trust in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
I was like, you guys have enough years and enough, like you guys, I feel like I can put my faith in you guys. No, I couldn't. Like it sucks. I really want to rewatch it. And every time I do, like it's like, if only they finished this show. Like you just can't watch the final scene. Because like your best, like one of the best characters in television history, they just stopped letting that character make sense as that character. Tyrion.
Oh yeah.
Like all of a sudden his intelligence was, well, kind of a weird way to
normal?
say it, dwarfed.
But there were 100 different ways you could have said that, bro. Come on.
Well, yeah, true, but however, like, is using that word is that not a way that you can use? Like, is that one been removed as well?
I don't know. I have not heard. That is not a circle that is in my feed these days. I have no idea.
No, well, you would think actually after covering living in Oblivion, it might actually be.
You'd think, yeah. I mean, the algorithm has reacted every other time. Yeah, it's weird.
You know what? I went back and I watched Armageddon, and I'm like, you know what? There are some good Michael Bay films.
Armageddon?
Okay.
Of
When
all,
I say
you-
good, I'm
you're
not
gonna make
putting
the
it
case
up.
that there are good Michael Bay films, and you're choosing Armageddon as your
I'm going,
evidence.
yes, of the Michael Bay films, you got The Rock and you got Armageddon. What else is actually in the real running to be a good film?
The first Bad Boys movie.
Oh, I forgot about the Bad Boys
Yeah,
franchise. That is
I
true.
would say the Rock and Bad Boys 1 would be the two Michael Bay movies that I am willing to say are genuinely good movies. And the Rock is even kind of iffy on that one because once you've watched
It's
the
an
Rock,
undercover James Bond film, so
that's the thing. And once you've watched it like 4 or 5 times, like I have, you start to notice that there are some really weird inconsistencies. Like, wait a second, why did he have to go through the generator to open from the inside? Wasn't he getting out? Like, what do you say?
exactly. So nobody can
Like,
get access to that generator ever?
right.
Really? Yeah, no, I thought, yeah.
But it takes
no.
like 4 or 5 viewings to get to that. But I mean, yeah,
Now I'll give you that. The thing about like Armageddon, scientifically, no. Like, no. I'm like, we're not playing that game. That sacrifice scene, that was good. It was done well. It was filmed well. It was written like the dynamic. Once you have tasted the haterade on something, I know there is no bringing you back. So,
well, I see. No, it's not that. Because here's the thing, though, bro. Is you got to understand. I saw that movie in the theater, and watching it for the first time in the theater, I was mortified. I was embarrassed on
About
behalf
what?
of the actors that it was just so fucking cheesy and so over the top. I couldn't take it. I was embarrassed for Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler and Dad. I can't remember.
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis. Thank you. I forgot his name for a second there. But yeah, I was embarrassed on their behalf by how ridiculous that scene was as I was watching it for the first time in the movie
Which
theater.
scene? The
It's
animal
not-
cracker scene, probably?
No, the sacrifice scene like you're talking about.
When Bruce Willis is saying goodbye to his daughter?
When Ben Affleck is crying to Bruce Willis saying, "Please don't do this." That whole bit and he's shoving him back into the ship and all that. Like it was the whole bit. Yes, and I'm sorry. So it's not when I sit there like I say I haven't watched the movie since. I saw it in the theater once and I was like, "Fuck this," and I was out. And actually, no, that's not true because I was working at a DVD store when it came out on DVD, so I did see pieces of it on repeat in the DVD store. So there is that.
I think that's the movie that I fell in love with Eddie Griffin.
I could see that. He
The
was pretty good.
smallest role ever.
Mm.
Just little Richard, his dog falls into a hole and he steals the entire show.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was great. No, I guess I just don't see that as really over the top, and I really don't see that as cheesy and stuff like that, because you got two men that are facing off against each other, and one is trying to save the woman they love's father, and the other one is trying to save the woman they love's lover. Like, so, like, no matter which way it was gonna go on there, but I mean, you go up against Bruce Willis, you lose.
Yeah. Although I'll tell you what's pretty fun. Have you ever seen Looper?
Yeah, I've seen Looper.
So Joseph Gordon-Levitt being young Bruce Willis and basically doing a Bruce Willis impersonation to Bruce Willis's face. Like that's how you do it.
Okay, no, there was some good fun on that one. I can't remember if I actually liked Looper or not.
I was kind of half and half on it. I was kind of excited for it because the guys who made it made one of my favorite movies, and so I had kind of high hopes, and so maybe I disappointed myself because it didn't quite raise to that level. But I thought it was okay. I thought it was a decent movie. I thought it was an interesting take on the whole time travel paradoxical loop kind of approach. Kind of going like, look, the science here isn't important. It's the story element. So just come with us for this ride. And I was like, I can accept those terms.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Which, like, when kind of crossing over into Armageddon, the soundtrack is great.
The soundtrack was good. Yeah. No,
And that
it was
is one thing. If your soundtrack is good, or if the composition is done well enough,
mhm.
I'm in with you. Like, the movie's got me. Like, that is, I fall for the subliminal tricks very easily, but it
Sure.
makes me like something. So where's the downside there? You know.
Oh no, I feel you there. Yeah.
Also, William Fichtner. You don't get enough William Fichtner roles like that. Like, because he played that role fantastically. Like, I will give a lot of just to a lot of those performances. Set aside from that, like the leaving on a jet plane scene, cringe so hard. But every time I even think about that scene, I have to sing like Michael Clark Duncan. I have to sing like Steve Buscemi. Like, the movie gives you scenes that do stay with you forever. And I think, good or bad, if you can pull that off, you did all right.
I mean,
It's definitely America. Like, it's definitely patriot porn.
yeah. Well, that's for sure. Yes, and that was probably one of the first times it became super clear with those of us who were signed up for the Michael Bay train. Like when Armageddon came out, that was the first time we were going like, this is like, there's a lot of American flag shit going on here. What's happening? Like,
See, where I'd say like
the
Roland Emmerich
the
did
first
a
movie.
better job in Independence Day than Michael Bay did in any of his films.
Yeah, but yeah, like we were, yeah. It's like, the first movie, The Rock, like our hero routinely beats up FBI agents. What's this bullshit? What's going on?
Oh man. Wait a minute. Was the dumb con guy from Raising Arizona in The Rock? Like the FBI agent? Was that him? Shit. I gotta look this up real quick.
That's a good question. Now that I'm seeing, like, yeah, put a mustache on that guy, it could have been him. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm deadly curious because if that is the case, man, that guy is a way better actor than I ever saw coming. Holy crap, that was William Forsythe, wasn't it? Just he was like thick back then. Or in this movie. I mean, because he played Yvel, right? That was the character's name, right? Evil?
Is that his name? Galen Yvel? Is that?
I think so. They were cracking me up.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Holy crap, this guy's got 1,000,000 acting credits, though. It would take a long time to get through and see and figure it out. Good God, he's in everything. Literally everything. Okay, okay, he's got 152 acting credits, and it doesn't look like any of them are... Usually when you see an actor who has this many credits, there's a lot of cartoon appearances.
Oh, yeah, because they pump out the voice work like crazy, yeah.
Ernest Paxton, he was in The Rock. That was him.
Wow.
Damn.
I did not clue that in at all. I did not see that coming. Wow,
man. Yeah, we're going to have to do a little side-by-side comparison of his role in Raising Arizona, and then we're going to have to watch The Rock probably pretty soon, because we've talked about it quite a bit, and we haven't watched a Sean Connery flick on this channel yet.
We haven't, have we?
No, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Considering the fact that we've watched like 7 John Goodman flicks now.
Right, yeah. Well, we're also...
Can't really help it. Every movie John Goodman's in is great.
That's true, yes. But I mean, to be fair, we only did just recently do our first John Candy movie as well. Like, that's a little weird,
That is weird.
It occurred to me,
could have done it.
You know who we have?
Look,
probably yes. You know who we have not done yet, and what we're talking about, like epic actors that for some reason we haven't covered yet. Jack Nicholson. We haven't done a Jack Nicholson movie yet.
I know, but which one do you go with? Because I kind of want to go with, like, what was the Navy one he did like way back in like the early 70s?
I don't know. I was gonna say it would be one of two movies. I would pick one of two, either the classic to end all classics, Chinatown, or what I'm pretty sure I think may have been my mother's favorite movie back in
It's
the
kind of
80s.
funny. That's the Chinatown is the movie that actually pops up for Jack Nicholson's.
Okay.
That's funny.
The Witches of Eastwick would be my other choice. I want to do
Really?
Chinatown or The Witches of Eastwick. Yeah, not because here's the thing. Witches of Eastwick was one of those movies that I was aware of because
The
my
Last
mother was
Detail.
watching it constantly. The Last Detail. Okay. My mother
Are
was
you familiar
when
with
it
that
came
one?
out on cable. No, when it came out on when it was playing on cable, my mother was constantly watching it, and so it was like kind of always on. But I never watched it, and so this is a movie that was it was popular enough for them to make fun of it in Mad Magazine. My mother liked it enough that whenever it came on TV, she would stop and watch it, but I
Hmm.
never saw it all the way through. And so it's like there's a part of me that's like, if I'm going to do Jack Nicholson, I'm curious to see what's up with this Witches of Eastwick movie because apparently it was a big hit.
It was a big hit,
Especially,
and it is good.
oh, so you have seen it? Okay,
I have seen it. Yes. I have not. I've been meaning to see this movie for a long time. It's The Last Detail, 1973, rated R, and it's starring Jack Nicholson, Randy Quaid, and Otis Young.
oh wow, that's pretty good. Okay,
Yeah,
Last Detail would also.
there's a reason I've been meaning to. I've been meaning to watch this movie since I saw it on the shelf at Hollywood Video, back when I worked there. So
What's
this has been over 20
what
years.
what stopped you from seeing it back then?
Uh, classic. Like we've talked about, like classic syndrome and stuff like that. I saw a
Right.
movie and I'm
Okay.
like, that looks amazing. I'm just gonna put it in my mind as a movie that is legendary that I'm like gonna get to, and then I just never got to it.
Right. I hear you. Okay.
I feel like we all do that. It's just, why do any of us do that?
It's a good question. It is a good question.
No.
I mean there are three movies that I have managed to break the classic syndrome curse with. Chinatown being one of them, Casablanca being another, and Citizen Kane. Like the three movies that everyone says everyone has to see, but no one ever gets around to seeing. I actually managed to see them. It took some
I
effort.
tried to
It took
watch
some
Citizen
doing.
Kane when I was young, man. It was boring. It was boring as hell
Oh,
for
when
me
you're
I was,
young, it's
yeah.
boring for sure. Yeah, yeah. No,
I should
you
give it
shouldn't
another
watch
shot.
Citizen. You shouldn't watch Citizen Kane under the age of 27. You're just not going to give a shit before then.
Definitely not when you're 17.
No, no.
Nope. That was a mistake because I was not going anywhere with that one. No, the thing is like trying to figure out like how to decompress, how to because honestly, like when it comes time for that, it's just sitting in a chair and staring off into nowhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Which now I got a fireplace, I throw a couple logs on there, staring into nowhere doesn't seem like an unhealthy activity anymore. Now it's like now I'm living the
You got
dream.
some elements in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now I'm not being unhealthy and creeping everybody out. Now it's, wow, look at him. He's so at peace.
Yeah. Nothing's changed except the background animation.
I'm not gonna lie though, like people use like white noise machines and stuff like that, and they gotta have a fan going stuff like that. A fire, like the tiny roar of a fire crackling is fantastic.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh man, that is like I had a couple cousins come to visit, and usually I don't like sitting there and just having the quiet when there's a lot of people there. I like the quiet when I'm by myself, sure. But when there's people there, I'm like, no. We should be doing something. We should be talking about something. Somebody should be doing something. Like,
Right.
yeah. Nope. And I think, like, unfortunately, I think the fact that I've been able to achieve a little bit of a level of chill has gotten in the way because I have, like, 20 years of zero chill. So now that, like, I'm actually catching it, the body's like, ooh, this is nice. No, you're gonna do
Right,
this for
yes.
the next like 10 hours, and I'm like, but I got shit to do. I'm like, yeah, no, go do your shit, then come back here and do this more.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah. It's nice.
Uh,
Yes, for sure.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I'm at that point where it's like I cannot buy a recliner because if I buy a recliner, I'm not gonna do anything else ever.
yeah,
Like
no,
I
well,
need to
I've
have
seen
an
that
uncomfortable
happen.
chair.
I had a grandfather that's, he got himself a really nice recliner and then spent the remaining 20 years of his life in that recliner and absolutely nowhere else.
My
And he was
grandfather.
happy. That's the thing, is he was happy. That's what mattered. Like, we let him have his recliner because it made him happy.
So there you go. My grandfather, he died right after having won a go kart championship.
Mm,
And I'm not saying like my grandpa like had my dad, and then when he was 23, no, 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 he was an old ass man. I was already 8 years old, like
sure.
when he passed. He just kicked the shit out of everybody. Went home, sat in his recliner, holding his trophy, and just kicked the bucket and went, "I'm awesome." Like,
Right.
dude, what
Yeah,
a like. I mean, come on, you gotta go. That's a way to go.
sure. Yeah.
You just accomplished a victory. You're sitting in your favorite chair around your like all your loved ones and all this stuff. Yeah, kick the bucket. You got my support.
If you gotta, yeah, if you gotta,
Everybody's gotta. Like it's better that
I'm
than
still
sitting
not
in a
prepared to
hospital.
accept that.
Yeah, I know. You want to be one of those ones that lived over 1,000.
I just don't like the idea of this ending. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's just what annoys me. It's like, if you think your favorite TV show getting canceled is bad, the world is my favorite TV show. I don't want it to end. That's
Okay,
basically like.
here's how I'm gonna end tonight's show, and I want you to think about this for the week because I want to talk. I want to actually get your perspective on it after a little bit of thought. What if during like your generation, like your lifetime, all this, like
Mhm,
the immortality, live to be like whatever becomes a thing, becomes
sure.
attainable, and people attain it? What if? And then what if somebody else was right? The one who says, what if this is hell? So, and then like this is part of like Naraka with like the Hinduism and like going through the
Oh,
trials. What if this is hell and by living forever you wind up sticking yourself in hell instead of at the end of this one going back to the nicer one?
I'll tell you what. Um, with immortality, that would give me more than enough time to figure it out.
Okay, decent smartass answer. I'll give you that one. But
No, see, like,
there is some there. Like, I actually want you to think on that one though, like a little bit,
mhm,
because what happens if the whole singularity thing, the whole immortality, like all this stuff.
mhm.
But then what if that person is the one who's actually right, and you wind up effectively sticking yourself in an eternal hell?
I mean, but well, I mean, honestly, like, it's not just the smart ass answer. It really is like, I feel like I could deal with it on that level, because if I
Okay, you
had,
say deal with it. Yeah, no, okay, deal with it is one thing. Figure it out is the answer.
no, that's what I'm saying, is that like, you deal with it, figure it out, like, it's that, you know, like, yeah, if we're talking like, maybe there is an afterlife, and not die, and if I were given the option to never die, I'm screwing myself over on a better afterlife. It's the not having any. What, I'm trying to answer you seriously
No,
here. Okay.
no, I know. That's why I was trying to end the show on like a thought provoking thing, and then like answer it next week.
Oh, yeah, no. See, motherfucker, you don't understand. I've already thought about this. This is all. I'm already prepared to answer. What do you think I'm thinking about when I'm cross stitching?
Nothing. That's what the decompression's about.
I'm
Just
processing. I'm
all of
always
it, letting
processing.
it all
No,
go.
no, no. And we've only been at, if we were still talking about raising Arizona, we'd still have like another hour to go, sir. So it's
Oh
okay.
yeah, I know, but there's a reason why I don't we're doing a decompression week. I ain't got
Right.
it.
Gotcha. All right. But no. Okay. Short version is, yeah. Is that, part of my issue is the fact that I currently do not have faith. I do not trust any of that because it is all, and so it's like, for me right now, all empirical evidence says that when I die, it's over, it's done, cease to exist. But if I had immortality, if I had time, if I had an infinite amount of time to explore the world, explore the universe, get down to the nitty gritty of the building blocks of the universe in order to find that evidence, to get to that answer, to go, oh, okay, there is an afterlife, then I'd be like, all right, I'm good then. Now I'm okay with dying. And then I would. And so like, that's the thing, is it's like, achieving the immortality would give me the freedom to explore the other options. And so, yeah, no, when I say with immortality, I'd be able to deal with it, that's not a glib answer.
But then that raises another question, though. If you actually do reach immortality and then opting into no longer being immortal, if there is an afterlife, by choosing to no longer be immortal, how is that not suicide? Like that. So like that's again, where it still goes.
Again, with an infinite amount of time to figure it out, I'd figure it out. That's the point.
Man, a non-answer is not an answer.
That is an answer. Because that is me admitting what I do not know. And
no, man, that is the ultimate form of to be continued. I get to say to be continued. I'll figure it out later. Forever.
Well, my entire point is the fact that I wouldn't be able to figure it out in the very minute lifetime that I have right now. Certainly not in the next 5 minutes to end this podcast. That's my whole beef with death in the first place. Is that's not enough fucking time, asshole. Like,
I get you. No, that whole if it is just like when the brain shuts off, that's it. Like that just lights off, game over, done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm happy that you're able. Yeah.
So good. That sounds so great. I mean, you hit into an afterlife and be like, man, I still gotta do shit. Like, all right. Yeah. No. Hey, thank you. No, this cloud is great. Like, I really appreciate this cloud. This is awesome. Or this wheat field and stuff like that. Like I don't want to have.
I'm adding another movie to the list.
Oh God,
that whole bit just for defending your life.
Defending your life. Oh, okay. I thought we were gonna do like the invention of lying.
No. Defending Your Life, starring Albert Brooks and Barbara Streisand. It's a treat of a movie. Yeah, and it's literally about a guy who dies, goes to heaven, but he doesn't just automatically go to one place or another. He has to go in front of a jury and give the case as to why he should be allowed into heaven. That's the point of the movie.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, it's great. It's a fantastic movie. You're gonna love it.
I have that scene twice in my story. So I would love to see somebody who actually did it well.
Yeah, Albert Brooks. Yeah.
Well, fair enough. All right. Any final thoughts on Decompression Week?
Everybody's got to find their thing, man. That's my advice to all the young people. Is that you got to find the thing. You got to find the hobby that. Don't try to commodify it. Don't put yourself any pressure. Don't compare it to others. Something that will just keep you busy and chill you out, and helps the days go by without any expectation. You got to find that one thing. Some people most people I know do knitting. I chose cross stitching because excuse me, but yeah, it's like you got to find the one thing that you can do where no one, not even yourself, has any expectations from you, and so you can just do it and enjoy that you're doing it. If you don't have
that is yard care.
There you go. Yeah.
God, so everybody's got taking the saw out and just trimming some all the dead branches off the trees and just making making the property safer. 2, making it look nice. 3, I got trees on my property that are like 500 years old. I need them to outlive me. There you go. We drove around to other sections of this mountain. We don't see trees this epic. They're so cool. And I never knew I was gonna be a guy who's like, haha, look at that tree. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts before we end the stream.
That was it. Yeah. My advice to all the young people: Find the thing that has no expectations as a hobby. Well, that and get a vasectomy. Those are the two biggest pieces of advice I can give to all the young people out there. Get yourself a hobby, not a side hustle, a hobby, and get a vasectomy if that applies to you.
Think about it, I guess.
No. I am doubling down on this. Get a vasectomy. It will be the best thing you can do for yourself. Period.
So just no more kids. we're just done.
You can get them reversed if you decide to have kids. That's the point. This makes your here's the thing.
Oh,
I got two kids. Okay, I have two kids. I can probably say, thanks to my vasectomy, I don't have 10 kids. I only have two. I only have two kids thanks to my vasectomy. I have, way less.
That is a fantastic note to end this week's episode on. We'll be back next Thursday.
If that applies to you, I understand. But that's my point. If it applies to you, if you are physically capable of getting another person pregnant, get a vasectomy. It'll be the best thing you can do for yourself. And a hobby.
Now are you done?
Now I'm done. Yes.
All right. Next week, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We will be back. From here until then, still stay safe and stay sane. I might be able to talk next week, so that will be even better.